Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Wherever to find yourself in this weird, wild, wacky world we're in. This is another scene for Unmask Orlando at the vampire venue. This evening's scene takes place right after the previous scene. As the Toreador head out to Atticus's lovely Aston Martin that is waiting at the curbside.
You know, we really need to stop surrounding ourselves with beautiful things. It only seems to cause issues for us.
Indeed. That's what happens when we have the clan weakness we have.
I mean, at the same time, I kind of don't want it to leave.
You're cute.
Yes. If there's one thing I learned over the last several days is that most of our clan that I have encountered thus far have been.
Oh, yes.
So, I noticed something the other night when we were with the prince.
Oh?
I didn't want to say anything then, or while there were others around, because I didn't know if it would be perceived as rude. I mean, quite frankly, I didn't know what was going on, but
Oh, I remember that.
That happens
I was
often.
watching him. And when we brought up the red lister, I saw colors around him.
As in around him?
Okay.
Yes.
You perceived his aura.
His aura. So that's real.
Yes.
When people say auras and vibes, is it like that kind of thing? Ugh, I hate the word vibes. It's disgusting, but
I mean,
aura
is
kind of a manifestation of your emotions.
Emotions, what we are. I mean, the colors with normal humans are brighter than they are with us. They're paler with us because of what we are, because we're dead.
I saw the colors were all pale. They weren't vibrant.
That's because we're dead.
If you looked at Alexei, the colors would be stunningly bright.
Can I see him? Can I see Alexei from the window, or are we like in a car
We're
or
already
something?
in the car.
Okay. Who's driving the car?
Atticus.
Okay. I didn't know if it was a driver. Okay.
Oh no. It's just an Aston Martin.
And for people like Zach, the colors will be in sparkles.
They have sparkles. Anyone who has magic.
You see, well, I think
even
the Premier have
thaumaturgy.
that. Yeah.
Even thaumaturgy shows up as sparkles in the aura.
People who use magic will have sparkles in their aura.
The most present thing that I saw was red and silver, a combination, and it was almost around him, like they seemed like the closest and the most centered, and they were consistent colors.
So he was red. Red represents anger, and silver represents sadness, sorrow. So
I thought silver was depression.
Silver is sadness.
Silver is sad.
Gray is
depression.
Gray is depression.
And then
she might ask that actually. Was it silver or grey?
It was silver. It was very strongly silver. I mean, they were
Okay,
pale
so
colors, but
sadness.
those ones were very clear to me. And that's
Okay,
when we brought up the former prince
so
and
sadness.
the red lister. There were sparkles, which you said, I mean, magic, as he
Yes.
is a Tremere.
Tremere.
And that is what they do. It's thaumaturgy, yes.
Yes.
Blood
Yes.
sorcery.
Yes, it is often called blood sorcery.
Fucking. What was that Zach guy? What?
He's a mage.
He was. So he also does magic, but I could tell he was alive. He was breathing.
Yes, he is an actual mage.
So he's a human.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Alexei is Garu.
Garu. It's part of the French word. In French word for werewolf, we say loup-garou. Garou is pretty much the word for were. W-E-R-E.
People, I noticed someone called him Lupine, and he
That's what
did not
we
seem.
tend to call them.
They don't like that, apparently.
They don't like it, apparently.
What do they call us?
I've heard the word leech. Which are kind of like
Leech, from people who, and I'm gonna lower my voice even though we're in the car, from people who turn into dogs.
No,
And
leech
they call
from
us leeches.
Oh.
Well, no,
Yes.
I'm saying,
sorry, yeah.
my character is like, they call us leech, which is like they're bottom feeders basically, and I'm like, from the people who turn into dogs.
To be fair, leeches are bloodsuckers. He gives him kind of a playful smile.
I mean, yes, it still just seems a little. I wouldn't want to be called a leech. The association tends to be unclean and dirty, and you know very well. And Miss Emma, it's only been a short time that I've known you, but I can tell that if you are the same way, that is not something that we very much enjoy.
No, it's not.
Anyways, I don't mean to get off track.
It's quite
that
alright.
entire. I thought I had a lot of questions before after that entire event. There's just a plethora more questions that I have.
And you might think we're powerful, but do not piss off a werewolf.
No,
I've never tried
no.
it, but my sire has faced some.
Does what we can do even work on them?
Some of it does.
Some of it?
But their claws can rend us in two quicker than we can muster most things.
Supernatural damage is supernatural, I suppose.
You saw the baby, yes?
The what? Sorry, you cut out
The
there.
baby.
You saw the baby, yes?
Yes,
That was in what
wolf
tends to be called their war form.
War form. So there's more than one.
Well, yes. Yes, Alexei. He was in his new. He was in his human form, and there's that. And there's the wolf form, which. Well, I'm not sure. She has told me that she has seen.
Alexei.
Well,
Emma has seen Alexei in Lupus.
Yeah, I've seen him in a wolf form, and she probably wouldn't have seen Glabro. I wouldn't know, but she'll say. But my sire has told me of something that's kind of between a wolf and what you saw with a baby. It's on 4 legs, but it's big and huge.
There are actually 2 other forms.
Well, yeah,
Glabro
there's
is between human and the war form.
And
There's
then
another
there's the one between Warform and the Lupus. It's just a giant direwolf, if I remember correctly.
and I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I had it pulled up. I don't have
Hispo.
it anymore.
Oh, it's called Hispo.
Hispo.
Okay. All right. I apologize. Okay. There was
It's quite
something
alright.
else though. Let me. There was something that seemed odd. It was almost like static around the outside of him. Like on a television that has no signal. It was scrambled and blurry and it seemed peculiar. I mean, the entire thing did, but this even more so.
If I'm remembering what Adelaide taught me correctly, that's indicative of anxiety. Being anxious.
Forgive me for if I'm speaking above my station, but anxiety and nervousness, it's quite different when me, a new kindred, feels it when encountering Garu for the first time, but it seems an emotion that would be very troublesome from the person who leads our city, from what I understand of it.
Everyone feels anxiety from time to time. We do still have our human emotions.
But even just talking about it, it was odd. I could tell it was when that damned man with the cross came in. From that point, it was pretty downhill in the escalation of everyone's anxieties.
Armand.
I will say that. Armand, is he one of ours?
He is. He's a Toreador. He's often called the Crimson Priest.
Yes, I remember.
I do remember as that is.
Yes, you did
that
point
little,
out
that little bit of information
human
is what
side.
may have gotten me access to a Tremere library.
I suppose I'll have to take that back first, though.
Yes, that is.
And I don't imagine it'll be lightly guarded.
Oh,
from what I've heard in passing conversation, that's what is called their chantry. Yes.
Yes. If I had to guess, Marcus probably has ghouls and gargoyles circling the place.
What is a ghoul?
They are mortals that have been fed kindred vitae.
So they're not vampires?
No, they get some of our abilities, but not nearly all of it.
To be one of us, you have to die first. You have to be drained with your blood.
Oh,
they're living.
I do remember quite well and quite fondly.
If you give a human blood without them being dead or without draining their blood, they become a ghoul.
Yes, and they become addicted.
That's the thing we have between us.
Yes.
Is that
the bond?
The same then for the ghoul, the bond? Yes.
He nods.
Is it different than the one we have?
Yes, generally it's one-sided.
And they're used as servants, more or less.
Servants, drivers, people who can go out in the daytime and deal with mortal affairs.
You also mentioned something about needing to seek the permission of the prince. Well, in your case, you did not have to, because you are, what is it, the master of harpies?
Yes.
A very formal title. Very. But do you need to seek permission
Normally
for
I would have.
ghouls?
No.
No,
For
No, you don't.
ghouls.
no, you don't. And well,
Okay. So
unless you're going to try and go
I will-
half the city, but that should be pretty obvious that that's a no-no.
I will confer
Given
With-
the blood expenditure required for that would be
so that
Stupid.
what would?
ghouling half the city.
Oh, yeah.
Because you must keep them fed and maintained.
Or they become human again.
I
And
suppose that leads me to
depending
my
on how
next-
long they've been with you. Well,
my next order. Jordan's been asking questions, and I'm gonna pause for a minute. Jordan is the other member of the band that I play in.
he would nod. My recommendation: ghoul him.
Ghoul him. Ghoul one of my closest friends and bandmates, and make him dependent on me.
One, it will ensure that there will be no more questions that, well, can't be answered.
But
you can't tell him anything when he's a mere mortal. As a ghoul, well, often it is seen as a stepping stone to the embrace.
The Ventru often most Ventru have been ghouls for a time before they were embraced.
As have the Giovanni.
Well, if not bringing him into the family, bringing him around it, as he's not. And again, I don't mean to speak ill of him, but he is not me.
Extend
He is not
his life.
Like ours.
As long as you keep him fed.
Well, that should be a very easy selling point for him. If you think I like to imbibe, I don't need to explain to you, Atticus. He's been to insomnia with us on more than one occasion. If I recall correctly, he's even come back to the apartment with us once or twice.
Once or twice.
Who can keep track of those things? Again, Miss Emma, I don't mean to offend or make you uncomfortable if our talk is too vulgar.
My sire is like not her is old. She's not hurry. I've heard stories.
Oh yes, your sire is good friends with the Lady Eve, is she not?
She is.
I recall Eve mentioning your sire.
Yes.
They met in the Middle East, if I recall.
Yes, a long time ago.
So
when it wasn't long before she met Eve that my sire earned her nickname of the Iron Rose. Big
Iron
ass
Rose. Intriguing.
Oh, my sire is petite and cute, and you would think she would harm anyone, but armed with just a thin blade, she nearly. And she'll think, from what she told me, something that you rat that stands taller than a car. She nearly ripped it apart in just one strike. And that was 800 years ago.
I'm going to lift up the leg of my suit pant and show Emma the hunting knife that I have strapped to my ankle. I have it in like a sheath, and I'm like, if I have the pleasure of meeting her, I might have to ask her to help get me a little more comfortable with this.
Oh, she's in Bordeaux right now, but if she ever comes, I'll make sure to tell her.
I'm sure the Lady
I
Eve wouldn't mind
appreciate it.
indulging.
Eve.
Or her
She's also experienced.
or her lover, Brannon.
Ah, yes. The Bruja. The man of steel.
Indeed.
That's what it felt like. It felt like I was in a goddamn vice. How am I supposed to play music when the rabble tries to break my hands?
I'm sure he wasn't trying.
Oh, I'm sure if he had tried, I would have broke. They would have been broken.
Indeed, but it would have healed.
Eventually. So, we Googled Jordan. Can he go out during the day? Does he have our weaknesses? How does that work? Can he just function normally? Continue to?
He will continue to function normally for all intents and purposes.
Okay.
He will just be dependent on your blood.
I'll have a chat with him either tonight or tomorrow night. I'll go see him. It's something he and I have been.
Do you want me with you?
I don't want to overwhelm him. He and I have been friends for
Of course.
almost 10 years, 10, 15 years now. We moved down here together. I think that it's fair. I owe it to him to do this on my own. Plus, it'll be a test to see whether or not he believes me. If not, I can only do so much. Then I might have to call one of the two of you. You can most definitely, if you wait outside, I could come meet you afterwards.
I'll wait in the car.
Either way, he probably has to move in with one of us, maybe, or put him at my home. These are things we can always work out at a later
Precisely.
time. Okay. All right. Also, is there a point where we can, where like the car is like stopped at a red light or something?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Are there any people near the car walking down the street?
Probably.
Okay. Can I attempt to use our sense of my own will this time and not on accident or perception to see if I can? Okay.
Average human willpower is 4, so perception plus empathy.
And that's lowered by 2, so it's a difficulty of 2, right?
No,
because I have
3.
2 in
lowest it can go is 3.
Okay, so a difficulty of 3.
Mm-hmm.
You can never go. Difficulty can never be above 9 and never be below 3.
Okay.
Actually, difficulty can go well above 9.
Oh, okay.
You said perception and empathy?
Yep.
I botched. God damn it.
Oh no. You don't get anything.
Well, I suppose it takes practice.
It does indeed.
Yes.
Also, question for the storyteller.
Yes.
So did that just take away from my blood pool?
Nope.
No, it doesn't. Okay.
Nope.
So, like, feeding is that you technically could just ride it out and not feed if you start at 7 blood, or do I have to, like, every so often?
Basically, I'll only tell you to do a hunting roll if there's a big scene. Like tomorrow's scene, I'll have everyone do hunting.
Okay.
I mean, if you do a tabletop where you go night to night, you are supposed to you lose your blood every night, but we're in a venue scene, so it's different.
Yeah.
Venue thing, so
Okay.
it's different.
Okay. All right. Other than that, I can't. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Okay. Okay. Atticus,
Yes, dear.
I do have a question for you. What is there going to be a war?
Probably.
We should keep away.
And what are you going to do, Addie?
He smiles a little bit at the nickname. I will be making sure Adelaide stays where she is. And doesn't get herself killed.
So our enemy is not the Anarchs or the Rabble. It's not... Well, are we actively facing threat from the Sabbat? I've been led to believe that we almost always are. And then we have this Marcus, or Mikhail.
He's the biggest
Why?
threat right now.
But he's not aligned with any of the sects, is he?
No. He's on
Is
his
he
own.
just... He's on his own, trying to take our dear clairvoyant Conrad and Katya, if I remember correctly.
Conrad, Katya, and Castiel. His childer.
And
We're not going to let him take them, are we?
No.
no.
Clearly, they don't want to be with him, and I may be new to this, but I chose this. I accepted it. We spoke, and, it's what I wanted. I'm here of my own free will, blood bond or not. I'm here because I want to be. I have a feeling that for the Von Essens, they are here because they want to be as well.
Here, I would assume, yes.
I mean, here, specifically here being not with Marcus.
Yes, they're not.
Do we have the
more
means?
on that, you'll have to talk to Katya herself, I suppose.
Yes, well... I was meaning to do that anyways. Well, now I have 2 avenues for learning Dominate, was it?
Yes.
2 feelers. But...
Katya is quite adept at it.
Yes, but I'm also led to believe that our fair Primogen is as well.
Ah, yes. The good Lady Adelaide.
What is my role in all of this? In this war against Marcus, against the Sabbat? Because I have a feeling that my involvement with Marcus is going to be very minimal, but considering the length and in its definition what unlife and being immortal means, I have some feelings that I'm going to have to learn how to combat the Sabbat either indirectly or directly.
You will.
Or the
eventually.
Or the Anarchs. Or the Anarchs, for that matter.
You will, eventually. But for now...
Anarchy in and of itself seems a foolish concept to me, but even more so given the nature of our condition.
I
don't think I don't know if I've met an Anarch
in
yet.
In front of the Lady Eve.
Eve is Anarch. Quite interesting.
She at least expresses sympathy for their cause.
It just... and again, I guess I would have to speak more with her about it. I hope that she would speak candidly to me, if not for any other reason than to just learn. Because I understand,
she seems
more
quite
or
willing
less
to teach.
The basics of the Camarilla. I understand the monstrosity of the Sabbat. But I don't know really anything about the Anarch movement, other than what I know about anarchy in and of itself. But, again, we have much time. Well, one can only hope. Promise me something, though.
Of course.
Promise me you won't do something stupid. Don't do something like you're trying to prevent Adelaide from doing.
He's going to pull off on the side of the road. You just kind of reach over and touch his face. The only thing that would cause me to do that is if they came after you.
Even though, I don't doubt that, but I'm not a superstitious person, but I suppose knocking on wood might be the most appropriate thing to do right now. Because once you've spoken it out, who knows what's going to happen.
He nods and places a kiss on his cheek.
Brandon is supposed to look after me that night, and I can't be anywhere near the house. We could help you take care of Adelaide.
Take care of what specifically?
Make sure Adelaide doesn't go out. I mean, I'm not sure I can do anything, but I'm sure Brandon can. And he's just supposed to be there to watch out after me. I'm sure he can do both.
Yes, that would be a good idea. And
so
since the incident, we have increased the defenses at Insomnia.
I see. When you see Miss Adelaide, please give her my best and my love.
You are coming there tonight. We are not risking you, Emma. None of you are being put at risk.
You think Marcus will come for us?
He
might.
might.
I don't know who he'll come for.
If his desired target is the Von Essens, then what would we have to do with that? How are we
It doesn't seem that he wants to kill them.
All of this?
I think he wants to take people that they would miss, so that they'll come home.
So they've killed a primogen. They've killed ghouls.
No. That is something entirely different.
That is... Oh, no. Sorry. Yep, that was the Jack the Ripper thing, right?
Yes.
Was that entire... Oh, dear God.
He's just going to stroke his hair.
Yeah, head in the hands again.
As they,
is just
pull
kind
up
of
to Insomnia.
Yeah.
Where they will
From
be
what
staying during the events of the big plot scene tonight.
From
What's that?
From what Argent has said, he may be he's probably the most probable target. So tomorrow he'll be standing as the cheese, while the red list will be the mouse.
Oh, we're luring him into a trap tomorrow.
They are.
Tonight,
We're staying home. Well, saying this. Yes, they are.
Did you just say tonight?
It's why we're here, darling.
Yes, that's why you are here.
Oh my God. Wait. Are you staying here with us, or are you
Yes,
going
I'm staying here.
to get the mouse?
No. The mouse is the mouse. The mouse will make his own way to the cheese.
Right. Well, I suppose I meant, are you the trap that breaks the mouse's back?
No.
But no, you will be here with us.
We assume it's going to be someone who is with Katya at the time, as she appears to be his main target.
So you're putting Katya with Argent?
And sending in Armand. Because he is what is called a Red Alistor. They are the best of the best and sent to hunt down those on the red list. And you can, as a general rule, only become a Red Alistor by first killing someone on the red list.
Who is the Alistair?
Armand. As you called him, Mr.
Yeah.
Cross.
The Crimson Priest, the Holy Man.
Yes.
You know, I had a distaste for priests in my life, and somehow, despite all odds, it has somehow gotten worse.
It's because they cause us pain.
At
least
you
the
said,
truly
that was
faithful.
Then that's when the crosses do repel us.
Mm-hmm. Simply being in the presence of someone who is truly faithful is...
So does this mean heaven and hell is real? Is this the implication that, like, God exists?
One would assume.
Because if so, that means I have 24 years of being a heathen to atone for.
Oh, hush. Come here.
Oh, I just mean blaspheming and not believing in, that. But now that it's right, you know what? It's fine. We can go inside and, figure it out.
He will nod. And he will take them both inside.
Again, we're not allowed to use disciplines in here, are we?
Nope.
Unless shit starts going south, right?
It's also closed at the moment.
Well, I just meant, like, if shit starts going south, like,
you can use
with
them.
Okay, because I have some worries, but that's okay. So, but no, I wouldn't just willy-nilly start using shit. Okay.
That is when this man walks in.
Hey there.
Mr. Brannon.
He nods at him.
Nice to see you again.
And yourself. How did you manage to drag me in here, Emma?
She'll think, Mom's 900 years old?
I'm not worried about your mum.
Eve is
See, I'm
900 years old?
fucking worried about.
Eve is 900 years old too?
If I don't take care of you, the woman will have my balls. And I kind of like them attached to my body.
I'm gonna
I
lean
can
into
understand
Atticus and be like, someone's almost as protective as you are, darling.
He just smiles a little bit. And I think that is a good place for us to leave off. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another scene for Unmask Orlando. See you next time.
See ya.